And just being able to be at Thread and just see these things and just be able to see the stuff that we're talking about today, the real miracles, the real suddenly moments. My wife, like you were saying, I'll share it with you guys right now.
Crazy story.
Crazy, man. It was something I kind of kept, not like, because obviously, you have a public platform of the podcast, and I've been vulnerable before, but it's not something that I share a lot of. I didn't really share much of it. I shared a little bit with my audience back when my wife was pregnant with Ezekiel. That she's been struggling with platelet issue, which is like a blood issue, to where her platelets were super low to the point where she was high risk pregnancy with Ezekiel, and she had to go get a bunch of vitamin C implants every single week in Dallas. Had to go see multiple specialists, had to be on protocols, had to basically hire a midwife. Then the midwife said, we might not be able to serve you in your house and give you a home birth. You might have to be rushed to the hospital, which that possibly could have been double the money, which, oh, Lord, so, ooh, child, please don't do that. Like, ooh, that was a big fear. That was a big prayer request, and luckily the Lord came through, and Ezekiel was actually able to be birthed at my mother-in-law's house because my house wasn't ready yet at the time. That was fun as well. The Lord was faithful in that season as well, but it was a beautiful experience. Holy Spirit showed up, and it was just powerful. But and Zeke was fine, Catherine was fine, but then from that moment we're like, all right, let's get this platelet issue figured out before we have another child. So we spent all of 2023 going to like a doctor that basically finds like the root cause of things, and we ended up figuring out that the platelets were a symptom of her having Lyme disease. So we kind of were battling that all year. Last year we basically had to have a subscription to a doctor, and we didn't even have Netflix, so when I had to find out we had to have a subscription to a doctor, my bank account looked at me sideways. It was very unfortunate. It was sad. When you do a podcast, you don't get health care. So just so y'all know, there's no health care in the podcast and writing space. So it was unfortunate. We were coming out of pocket. We were really investing in her health last year. She was having to get multiple labs done, which those aren't cheap. We were having to do supplements and protocols and everything under the sun. And we were just praying to the Lord to heal her. And it was just one day at church, man. Pastor Ryan Rhodes, he delivered a message about healing. And my kids, it was weird. My kids are normally really good in the service when they have to sit with us. But unfortunately, this time they were like kind of being a little loud and disruptive. So Catherine took them outside, and she kind of missed a little bit of the word. And I was kind of like feeling the Holy Spirit press on me to invite her back into the service, and me be like, I'll take the kids. Trying to be the hero, Yeah. And so I texted her to come back inside, and I took the kids, I went and like into the little corner, and I just felt like the Lord telling me to invite her in, like get her back in the room. And then they did like an altar call for healing. And then so when I'm with the kids, Ryan asked the person next to you to go lay hands on the person that needed healing. And Catherine was the one that raised her hand. And guess who went and laid hands on her? This man, Pastor Alex Birkin, stepped up and laid hands on her and got prayed over. And it was interesting because Pastor Ryan Rhodes was on the stage, and he said that the Lord, like he was sharing what the Lord was giving him. Like, oh, somebody in this room has a hurt leg. Somebody in the room has a broken heart. Who in here has a blood issue? Who in here has a blood issue? And he said it, and immediately Catherine's hand went up. And then we started corporately praying for her. And then in my spirit, I felt the confirmation from the Lord that she got healed in that moment. Yeah. And I go, wow, like, Lord, you came through. I got like emotional. My kids are running around, but I'm still, about to start like weeping. My hands, I started getting the spirit in my hands. It was so crazy. It was so powerful. And then that following Tuesday, she had a blood test. And it came back, her platelets were at 150, in the 140s, 150 range, when normally they're in the 70s and 80s range. So double, multiplied all the way up.
Crazy. It's incredible.
Which was incredible. And keep in mind, we found this out because we had to get a blood test because we found out recently she was pregnant. It was like a month before that she was pregnant. So when you get pregnant, normally your platelets drop like a rock, right? Especially for her, definitely drop. So for her, we found out. I came home from work one day, and she had a little sign that says, "Oops, we did it again," in the bathroom. And I'm in there trying to put toilet paper away, and I was like, oh my goodness, I was so excited. But also we planned to basically try to get that resolved before we had another child. That was kind of like the goal of the protocol. And then we revisit in January, February after we see what happens. And it was just so crazy because like it felt almost like the blessing of the child was like kind of covered in fear because of that. It was like I didn't want to see us go through what we went through with Zeke. It was very stressful, especially for her having to drive all the way to Dallas and her just being like, not sure if she can have the baby at home, because I don't know if hospitals, since 2020, hospitals and me aren't friends, so so I was fearful of that. And then to be able to see that she got healed like that, it was just so crazy and so powerful. And then come to find out, we were praying for a girl for a while. We've been praying to have a little girl, and in my family, we've had some deep-rooted like things that involved a girl. My mom wanted to have a daughter her whole life, and we would have boys. And it's one of those things that gets even way deeper. But I don't want to go down that rabbit hole with you guys tonight. But then my father, he had all boys, so he was speaking over me that it's going to be a boy no matter what. Like, oh, we're the Rippey boys. We always have boys. Like, I'm like, dang, Dad, I want a girl. Like, where's the faith? Like, come on, man, help me out here. Yeah. And then boom, we opened up the envelope and we found out it was a girl, and it was just like it was almost like the suddenly moment of like, boom, like God is faithful. Like when the world said no, God said yes. Yeah. Good. And that's exactly what it felt like. Malachi had so much joy about it. Our whole family was praying for it, and it was a prayer answered for our entire family, all because of the goodness of God. And he honored us. He knew exactly, there's Malachi. He knew exactly what we wanted, and he gave it to us. And now, like, everything's going to change now. I keep getting that word from people. Oh, you're a girl dad now. That's when everything changes. It's like, I need that. Lord, soften my heart. Lord, increase the bank account so I can pay for a wedding. Like all these things are going to change when you have a little girl. And it's just a blessing. And that was our suddenly moment of the year. That was just incredible. And I feel like it's still more things coming, Thank you so much for supporting our YouTube channel. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe and smash that like button. If you would like to see another short clip from this episode, you can do so here. Or if you want to see the full conversation, you can do so here. And make sure you subscribe on Patreon if you'd like to partner with us. You can do that at the link in the description of this video. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.